Hello and welcome to another stream. I was just checking that my mic was working after I took that pause. Hello, welcome to another stream. I have come back from my dad's during the holiday, and to start off the streams, I'm going to be doing this game called Schizophrenia. I learned about it from a YouTube video when I did. It was about 3 new games this month. It were new games this month, and a few of them were free games, and this one was already released. The rest of them were meant to be new games for June, I think. This one was already out. So I've already played this game, but I didn't do it on the main account while I was at my dad's. I was looking for games to play, and after I'd seen the video, I wanted to see what it was about. It was fairly quick. I've done the story before. I won't mention anything about it, but there are only like a handful of trophies. It's a 20 to 30 minute game. I played it on my other account that my brother mainly uses for games. He wasn't too bothered about it because he didn't know what it was. And I went and played it. And I said if he wanted to go back and play, he could, because he's not bothered about trophies. So he'll play games and won't complete them. He'll complete the story and then he doesn't feel the need to go back for everything else, which is fair enough. But since it was only a short game, he didn't know what it was. He didn't feel the need to play it. So I played it, saw what it was about, thought it was a decently good game, and said that I was going to come back and do it on stream. So in just a second, I'm going to start the game. I will get every trophy in one playthrough since I know what to do for them now that I've done them. I think most of them are story, most of them are just you get as you play. There are a handful that you could miss, like one or two. But on my first playthrough, I got all but one. But I will quickly just read this before I start the game. So, the story is fiction and doesn't reflect a reality or a real story, but it's about schizophrenia, which is a mature topic and contains gore content. But I will just say I've played it. It's not really gory, but I think that's more to do with blood, but there isn't a lot. Indirect and direct representation of suicide, violence against children, blood, weapons, and psychological and physical violence. All of these are mature themes that they cover, and I think they do it in quite a unique and I don't know how to describe it, in a unique way, but also in a very I don't know the word. I don't know what I'm thinking of. But in a way that isn't to make fun of, but more to talk about and get the spread the word about it, I guess. Because a lot of these themes are normally seen in like one way or like or people could joke about them. Like schizophrenia is mainly known to be like seeing things, which it kind of is, but then people make jokes about it, which is depending how you're doing it, I guess. But if it's generally someone has it and you're joking about it, it's a bit insensitive. But that's what it is. They do it in a way that isn't insensitive to the themes. It's unique and no, insensitive. Insensitive's the bad one. It's unique and sensitive towards the themes, so it's like they're not doing it in a way to make fun of the topics, and more to represent them and spread it to for more people to be knowledgeable about it. So I'll start the game in a second. But here's the game. It is, I think. Do you want to play the prologue? Nothing really happens in the prologue. It's more of a cutscene, so I will just remain quiet while it happens. But I think it's an indie game. I don't think there's many people that work on it. I think the developer's called The Courgette, but I assume there's only a handful, maybe one person that worked on it, because it is a quite quick game, and it's not like, obviously, you can probably tell, not me downplaying the game, it's not one of those AAA games, or one of those games that release yearly from these big developers, like EA brings out like 5 sports games a year, and other games, and you'll have like Insomniac bringing out Marvel games, and they're like to a high quality. I'm pretty sure this could count as an indie game. There's only a few people that worked on it. I'm not too knowledgeable about the people, but I know it's a short game. Don't know how long it took to make, but if there's only a few people, it could have taken a decent amount of time. But yeah, let's get into it. I will, while the cutscenes are going on, I won't speak, just so everyone can hear the story. But I will also go and get all the trophies during the one playthrough.
Sir? Sir? Excuse me, sir?
Hmm?
So, there are treatments, solutions to help you live with it. People can live with it, not a disadvantage, but a chance, a power.
I'm so sorry, but it must have been 5 minutes since I stopped listening. Can you repeat, please?
Schizophrenia.
What do you mean?
It's a mental illness. You can live with it, though there are symptoms. Hallucinations, delusions, insomnia, lack of motivation. Don't worry, there are treatments. The medical industry has made remarkable strides. In fact, you should thank Mr. Atman for his work, because now people with schizophrenia don't suffer. They can live normal lives.
Are you sure?
Of course. Every patient I see notices improvement in their mental health over time and with the right treatment. I think Onus Labs pills would be perfect for you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Don't be afraid of the dark, because it leads to the light. Mr. Atman said that, and he's right. You'll be okay.
It's very strange, but it was as if everything was explained. The insomnia is now familiar, unsociability was justified, and the man at the door is now in his place. talking about this bastard.
Right, so we've already popped two trophies. We got welcome for starting the game for the first time, I'm pretty sure. I'll just have a quick look at it again. And your first home sweet home for your first time in the apartment, which is just now. So yeah, starting the story for the first time. But yeah, it did quickly run over what schizophrenia is, being like hallucinations, insomnia, and and stuff like that.
This bastard fades away. I need something to drink. I need rest. I need silence.
Right, this is another trophy, by the way, if you ask why I'm just running into this. But later on we do go down here, but there is a trophy for just before going to get the beer from the fridge. You just walk into the invisible wall until he says something about it.
Bro, why the fuck do you try to go? It's been 2 minutes, bro. Get a life.
Got the trophy, what, for trying to, I think it's trying to break out of the map.
Silence. I slept so well that I forgot about this bastard. Why is this so long?
So I feel... Oh, bang on again. I feel like the two things that have just happened now, the hallway being long, and I won't say it, but the person that he's talking about, I feel like this person is a hallucination, and you'll see towards the end, I feel like that's a hallucination. And the fact that the hallway is longer, so it's representing like hallucinations that people
Where
might
are you?
see when having schizophrenia, so not just like seeing people or things that aren't there, but other things looking different to how they are, so maybe like lengthy corridors or like I assume that he lives in a flat. I assume that's his flat and these are the rest of the flats, because I was gonna say surely this isn't a house with the amount of stairs there are. Now another trophy can be gotten here. It says go up, but if we go down, we'll fall out of the map. Searching for the truth. We received your SOS, however the Hornist Slabs rescue team is not available. There's nothing we can do. The truth cannot be changed, or maybe it can. SOS, please help us, is the description.
I slept so well
So now
that I
we
forgot about
return
this
here.
bastard.
Now, we fell out the map. I don't know if that's in... I feel like because it tells us to go up, they just added that into the game. Or whether it is just part of the game and hallucinations, being that they fell through stairs. I assume it's just that we're meant to go up and we went the wrong way, so it's just happened to be that we fell out the map. They didn't design it that far. But there are 3 more trophies, so
Why is this so
there may be a
long?
gap between trophies, with one of them being at the end of the game. Well, 2 of them being at the end of the game. And there's one more which you'll see
Where are
later.
you?
I will purposely fail something. I did when I first did it, I failed it multiple times because I didn't understand the concept of what I was doing. But like these words saying up, that could also be a hallucination. Because obviously it's telling us where to go, but it could also be a hallucination. And this definitely is, because his toilet isn't in his house, and the house is tilted, and he's sliding. So, and now it's doing flashbacks to other topics which may have been affected his schizophrenia.
I waited all night, hoping she would come back. But the sun rose, and I understood that I would never see her again.
Now I assume what just happened there was he seemed to be in a car, and I think he's talking about his mum not coming back. So I assume his mum died when he was of a young age, or at least in this fictional story, the character's mum died of a young when I can't speak, when he was of a young age. But I'm not too sure. I will find out eventually what's actually going on, but the main purpose is to speak out about these mental illnesses. But yeah, I assume his mom died. And I'm gonna assume it's a car crash, since I don't know where I'm meant to be going. I forgot, but I assume it's because of a car crash due to it seemed like he was in a car. It might not have been a car crash, but it seemed like that.
Only a nightmare. Only a nightmare.
Now, I assume that clock's on the roof, not because of the schizophrenia. Well, I assume the reason it's on the roof is because of his schizophrenia. He said insomnia, which isn't that like an illness. It affects sleep. So I assume it's there so he knows what time it was when he slept and what time it was when he woke up. So he knows if he's actually slept or not. These are obviously the medicines to help. Red pill, blue pill, green pill. I assume they're for each of the different illnesses, or just taking a bunch of meds to try and help. Now this bit, there's no. You'll see there's someone we assume is trying to open a door. Now I don't know why I'm trying to fight against it by pressing X, because you need to let it happen. I assume this also is a hallucination due to it being another flashback to when he was a kid. Right. The first time I played, I didn't read that, which, yes, helped me get the trophy, but also got me caught multiple times. So we've got to write a letter without getting caught, and when it will flash, it will start, the screen will turn a bit red when I need to get into the bed. Now, I do need to get caught for a trophy once, and then the next time I will just continue to do it. But the percentage is on the bottom, but when the screen starts to go red, you should go to the bed. But, traumatized, get caught in the second flashback. Maybe it's normal. Now, what I assume, based off of that, but what I have seen, after his mum passed away, I assume his dad wasn't coping very well. I assume he was drinking, because I think I think that gets mentioned later on. But it does get mentioned that I think it's child abuse or violence. Screen didn't go red, so I can continue. The footsteps are quite loud, I'm not gonna lie. But what I have seen is it did say child violence or violence on child, which is basically the same as child abuse, so. Now this bit does take quite a while just due to how fast he gets to the room. Like, you write barely anything now and he'll immediately come back. Oh, escape the house. Right, I don't need to go to the bed. Right, Dear teacher, I want to share a secret. My dad told me to never say it, and I don't know if it's normal. Every night I cry because my mom died, and when I cry too loud, he come to my room and hit me until I stop. I talked with Tom, and he said that his dad don't hit him. Maybe it's not normal. When he hit me, I cry more and more, and after I have blue spots on my skin, I think dad is tired and sad mom died. Now, the blue spots he's obviously talk about are bruises. So it's not only tackling schizophrenia, but child abuse. And it did also say other things like, um, what was it?
This bastard.
Direct and indirect representations of suicide. Or I think it was saying indirect and direct for all of them. The direct ones are obviously the ones that are properly understandable and shown. Like the letter is obviously talking about it. Find the gun. But schizophrenia can be direct and indirect. I guess like some things, like the clock being on the roof to show how long he slept, the clock hasn't changed. Is probably a direct represent, and the talk about it at the beginning is direct. Whereas the indirect can be like, I don't know what could be indirect about the schizophrenia. I mean, maybe the changes to the rooms. Like originally that bin wasn't on the floor, so maybe it could show that he hasn't been sleeping, and we haven't been seeing the whole thing. Because every time we've come back to the apartment, there's been more and more drinks. So he has been drinking and drinking and drinking. As much as he thinks he's slept, the time hasn't changed. Obviously, some time's gone by for him to have drank, or maybe it's gone day by day. But I think this is in one night, and he seems to have drank a lot and had a lot of pills, but he doesn't recall sleeping and thinks it's the same time. I'm not too sure I'm reading too deep, but the bin has obviously fallen every time he's gone to the kitchen. Find the gun. It's in the house, yeah. That's the weapons it were talking about, I guess. Because I think it's the only one.
I was contacted by your son's teacher. She's concerned about some bruises on his arms and a letter he wrote.
I see. I knew this day would come.
I want to understand your situation. Your son mentioned physical punishment. Can you help me understand what's happening?
I never wanted to hurt him. I love my boy. But sometimes the weight of everything is too much.
The weight of what, sir?
My wife died and nobody knows how, and now I have to take care of my boy alone.
I hear you. It sounds like you're in a lot of pain, but hurting your son won't take away your own suffering.
I know, but maybe I don't deserve to be here anymore.
Sir, you're not alone. There are people who want to help you. Your son needs you, but he needs you to be well.
I don't deserve to live.
It's not true, sir.
I deserve to die.
Sir? Sir!
Where are you, you bastard?
Now I assume I still don't properly understand who, let's just call him this guy is. I assume it's a hallucination and he thinks this person is messing with his house or messing with his head. Now it has cut back to his mum and his dad, so is he angry at his dad or is it just a hallucination of a random figure that he thinks is messing with him? I don't know, but what I can say so far, the game is about to end. It has tackled suicide, death, schizophrenia, mental illnesses, physical abuse. I guess you could add in unhealthy drinking habits and drugs. Well, not drugs, because it's prescribed to help, but I think he's taking too many. Because I don't think the amount on there is a healthy amount to be. I wouldn't know because I don't have schizophrenia, but I do know you are prescribed a certain amount, and it'll say like 1 tablet a night, 1 tablet a day, maybe 2 tablets a night or day. They won't tell you to have like 10 boxes of each or 5 boxes of each in a day. But yeah.
Do you know how much I've suffered to find you? Every day you were here. Every day you knocked on my door, you bastard. I'm going to live without you. I'm going to be free. You bastard. This bastard.
The end. Finished the game, and it's made by the Code Chat, as I said. Now, it's been 30 minutes of stream. I told you it was a short game, and they're the people that help. So, like I said, small group of people. they may have been people that helped with the game or the voices, or he's the voice of I by. So he voiced the main character, voice of the Doctor, so that a few people that helped and the voices. It was quite short, but it does have sensitive themes and they tackle it in a good way to represent it, I think. Now, what I can gather from the end is the person he's searching for is himself, I assume. Because obviously, schizophrenia, you see and hallucinate things that aren't there. The person that's knocking on the door, I assume, didn't happen. He's just hearing this. Be patient for waiting after the credits to see the ending scene. And that's the last trophy. No one signs alone. Right, and then that's back to the menu. Fictional, gore content. Now I will go back through that. Obviously, that bit's a warning and about what it includes, and I will go back through and take note of it. Indirect and direct suicide representation. We've seen that. The direct was obviously the dad and the whole conversation. I think the indirect is at the end. He goes to shoot, let's call him this guy again. But it's a shadowy figure, and he sees that text in front of him again, just like he saw the up and here and behind the guy at the beginning that said schizophrenia. I assume it was a hallucination, and obviously he was aiming towards the hallucination. I assume he was actually aiming. I won't try and make it too brutal the way I say it, but I assume he was pointing the gun in the other direction, and he said he would live without the schizophrenia, so I assume he was trying to kill the shadowy figure that was knocking on doors, apparently messing with his apartment, making him, well, the hallucinations is what he's seeing, so the hallway stuff when he slid down the hallway, the toilet being upstairs even though it's not in his apartment, all the beers and tablets showing up, and the fact that the time that's changing. I assume he thinks that's this guy's fault, but it's just the effect of the hallucinations, which the doctor said at the beginning. There are like cures and prescriptions to help with that, and this guy is one of the hallucinations and symptoms of it. Now I assume he's then like it's been too much for him, or he's hallucinated that he's killed this guy, but it's actually him, which is why the blood's dripping at the end from the roof. Which I wouldn't call it gore content. I'd just say like violent. I would add that to violence, or just have it usage of weapons, or just have it as blood, because nothing was necessarily gory. The only thing in there was the blood dripping from the roof. There was no like gory would be like horror games going far with the dead characters. You didn't see anything like that. So I'd just say it's indirect and direct suicide representation, violence against children, blood use of weapons, and psychological and physical violence. I'd take away the gore content at the beginning, but if they want to add that there as like a just setting people up to expect things like that, you can do. It's only there to warn. Well, I won't say warn, but to just like make people aware of it. Just like a bit how you'd put at the beginning or on the game case and everything about the description that it may have like flashing lights to prevent epileptic. I don't know much about that, but to like make people with epilepsy knowledgeable that there may be scenes that could trigger epilepsy. But yeah, so that's just there to warn people of what it, because obviously they're sensitive themes and not everyone will be all right with that. So, but yeah, that was the game. half an hour long. The story's pretty sensitive and they tackle it in a good way. Um, go back to the main menu, I guess. Um, and yeah, I don't really know what to say. It tackles a lot, and I did say I think that this guy is the one of the hallucinations, and I think he actually shot himself. I did also mention that because the gun was facing towards him and not the opposite way where the shadow was. The shadow wasn't there at the end. There was blood on the roof. The gun was facing towards him. So I think that was more of an indirect representation of suicide, while the dad bit was quite clearly direct, as there was a lot of him talking about not being. He wasn't happy with himself that he was abusing his son. Obviously, he said he wasn't dealing with the death of his wife or our character's mom very well. And then he's like, "Oh, I love my kid. I don't mean it. I'm not handling very well. Shouldn't be here." He's obviously not coping very well. And then, obviously, he had a gunshot. Now, I assume our character's life hasn't been very good. I don't know. It hasn't been the best, and they've had a lot of struggles with their mom dying, dad committing suicide, being abused by the dad. I assume all that may have affected schizophrenia. I don't know how you get schizophrenia. I'm not a specialist like that. I'm just assuming that all the trauma, I think it was mentioned at the beginning, something to do with may have been caused by past traumas, maybe. And obviously, the mom and the dad dying, physical abuse, that could have contributed to the cause. But I'm not too sure. But that was the game anyway. I will probably continue streaming after this on a different game, but I'm going to have to end this one as this is for this game only. I've done the game, that's done. Won't be coming back to it as the game is finished. Thought I'd do a one-off stream. I did enjoy the game the first time I played it. Wanted to do it on stream. Since it is a short game to get into, it's different from the past streams. I said I'd be doing a range of games, new and already seen. This hasn't been seen on the channel. Is obviously only a one-off, and yeah, but I will eventually make this into a video on the channel, but I have got an idea in mind what I do want to be my first video. I just need to edit it. I will just say the video that I was planning on making in the first was already platinumed before I was streaming on here. I just need to edit it together when I have time, which should hopefully be during the holidays. I've only got 2 weeks left of college before I'm off until about September, so hopefully I can then start making videos. And then once I've done the games that I haven't done on stream, it shouldn't be as much of a rush to get videos going to platinum it, because I can always stream games while editing, so there's always something to watch. And obviously, the videos will be shortened, condensed versions of the games on stream. So, watching the stream, you'll get the full experience of everything I'm doing. The videos will be basically the summary of the platinum and the main moments. But thank you to anyone that watched this one-off short 40-minute stream of this, like, let's say 30-minute game. I enjoyed it. I hope you did too, and I will see you in the next stream.